What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is the 2012 film Moonrise Kingdom. Moonrise Kingdom was first requested to me by Cosmo Din on my Tusk review, and it's the most liked request that I think I've had yet. So I definitely felt that I had to review this one ASAP because obviously Cosmo Din wasn't the only one who felt that this movie needed reviewing and discussion on this channel. But anyway, let's get into my review of Moonrise Kingdom. Okay, so Moonrise Kingdom is a 2012 film with hints of adventure, comedy, and drama. The film was directed by Wes Anderson, who you may know from his directorial work on the Grand Budapest Hotel, among other things. I actually knew nothing about this film coming in, and I watched like maybe 10 minutes of it, and I was like, the style of this movie really reminds me a lot of Wes Anderson. I googled Moonrise Kingdom and bam, Wes Anderson is listed as a director. He has a very unique and easily identifiable style that's just so different than pretty much anything else modern that you've seen. Everything is shot differently than current cinema standards, the characters communicate differently, and the humor is very different than pretty much anything else that's been released for quite some time. But anyway, Moonrise Kingdom takes place in the year 1965 on a fictional New England island by the name of New Penzance. The story mostly follows two 12-year-olds by the name of Sam and Susie that are in love and run away together to escape their real-world problems. Once Sam and Susie are both considered to be missing, Bruce Willis, the honest police captain, Susie's parents played by Bill Murray and Frances McDormand, and Edward Norton and his khaki scouts attempt to locate Sam and Susie and bring them home. The rest of the movie is spent following the adventures of Sam and Susie as they attempt to run away, and the search and rescue party led by Bruce Willis attempting to bring the young couple back safe and sound. Okay, so I actually really enjoyed this movie, but I should let you know that Wes Anderson films can be a little bit of an acquired taste. Because his films are so different than anything else that's made today, you might be confused after watching the first 15 minutes, because if you don't know anything about this film, you'd probably double check the date of it to make sure it wasn't actually made in 1965. It's filmed entirely on Super 16mm film with a 1:85:1 aspect ratio with lots of digital noise and color grading that really captures the feel of 1965 film. I'm telling you this up front because this film is definitely way more like a 1965 film than it is a 2012 film. So if that's something that you don't think you're really going to be into, then this film and really most Wes Anderson films probably aren't going to be for you. For me personally though, I don't mind this at all because Wes Anderson films do such a good job at capturing the feel of the time period in which the story takes place. A lot of films today will take a story from the 30s or 40s or whenever and still make you feel like you're in this time through the dialogue and the costumes and such, but the camera work doesn't really relay that same message. And honestly, in most cases that's fine by me because we all like our HD or 4K video, but this film takes the immersion element a step further by providing you a 1965 story as if it was filmed and released in 1965. Moonrise Kingdom is so unapologetic with its identity, and that's going to be something you really love or really hate, and that depends on your taste. I say the movie has an unapologetic identity because it never falls back into traditional modern storytelling at all. Things are sort of rearranged in an order that's going to keep you entertained because of the unpredictability of the events and how they unfold and just the sheer ridiculousness of the story itself. Although this is a small scale story, I really enjoyed it because it really captured that feeling of being a kid again for me. I mean, I never actually ran away, but as a kid I'm pretty positive that I at least threatened it a few times. I didn't have the courage that Sam and Susie do, and while I couldn't really empathize with their unique situations, I did understand that feeling as a kid when you feel like nothing seems to be going your way. As a kid, you don't really know how to handle failure and adversity, and your first reaction is just to be like, I'm running away. And that's what both of these 12-year-old kids do. They run away and hope for the best. Now don't get the wrong impression, this film is still definitely a comedy first and foremost. I was laughing very frequently because like I said, the things that happen are just so outrageous that you really can't help but laugh. The dialogue combined with the music and the cinematography results in a humorous tone being present throughout the majority of the film. Moonrise Kingdom's brand of humor is mostly, like I said, sheer ridiculousness and witty dialogue that leaves you laughing because of how unexpected or unusual it is. Like for instance, Susie's mom uses a megaphone to talk to people throughout the house, or certain scenes where Bruce Willis will look directly into the camera and speak, or Sam getting struck by lightning, etc. This comedy feels more like a play and will sort of pull the immersion element out of that scene for you because you feel like the actors are aware of your presence in the audience and they're speaking or performing for you. And this mostly worked for me because the self-awareness centric comedy was just so clever that I was laughing and impressed. There are definitely some scenes where it feels overdone and forced, but they really don't happen too frequently. The acting in this film is absolutely fantastic though. Our two main characters in Sam and Susie are both great in their respective roles, and I've never seen either of them in anything before. Jared Gilman as Sam was awesome because he did a really good job of being a funny and sympathetic main character at the same time. You feel bad for what he's had to go through, but you can also laugh at and with him because the stuff he does is hilarious. hilarious. Susie, played by Kara Hayward, was also great in this film because she perfectly captured that young girl who hates her parents and her life and just wants to run away. She also has a lot of really funny scenes where she shows off her comedy chops, but there's one scene in particular between her and Sam that left me feeling a little uncomfortable. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what scene I'm talking about, but I guess it does work because kids will be kids, and this is just a slight exaggeration as to what kids do. The supporting characters were great in this film though. Bruce Willis plays Captain Sharp, and he actually is really funny. I've never seen many hints at comedic ability in Bruce Willis before, but this movie definitely has to be up at the very top for him comedy-wise. Ed Norton is also hilarious in this one as Scoutmaster Ward. He feels like a kid leading other kid scouts, and he just has a lot of really funny scenes because he says and does things that are very immature and silly. There's one scene in particular he was in near the end of the film that had me dying laughing, and overall I was really impressed with his work. Susie's parents, played by Bill Murray and Frances McDormand, are both unique and funny in their own ways. They definitely add to the ridiculousness of the story, and their performances are definitely on par with some of their other work. Bill Murray especially is pretty much the same guy that he is in most of his movies, so just know that going in. Story-wise, I thought this film, albeit small scale, was very engaging and entertaining. There's definitely a few periods of time where you'll probably get bored with the lack of progress Sam and Susie are making, but this only happens a few times. There's also some parts in the film where the comedy was weak and felt a little forced, at the same time the story was not progressing. So basically the movie does have some weak spots, but the story is mostly really good and really funny. Overall though, I thought this movie had really good acting and a good cast, very good, ridiculous, and self-aware humor. It captured the feeling of adolescence and 1965 film perfectly, and it's extremely unique with a clear identity. I also thought it had some weak spots that were boring and unfunny, and some of the humor felt over the top. I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10 and say that you should definitely give this one a watch if you're looking for some laughs and a feel-good story. I actually watched it on Netflix, so if you have a subscription, you should probably watch it there considering it's free. So did you guys see Moonrise Kingdom yet? What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, let me know whether you think this is your kind of movie or not. Also, don't forget to keep sending me your review requests, and if chosen, I'll review your requested movie and give you a shout out in that video. And as always, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future content like this. That's all for now. This is Willfoxification signing off. See you in the next review.